Hi everyone, welcome back to Whiteboard Circuit, and today I'm here with a slightly different video. What would you do? So maybe you've heard of this before and you've seen a video on it, but today I'm going to put a little bit of a leadership twist to the same concept. So let's say you're in some game show, okay? And you're kind of in a room like this. Room is split into two with a wall. You can't see what's on the other side. You can't interact with anything that's on the other side. Both sides have a person. So this is just, let's say, person A, and this is you. Okay? So now you have two buttons. Both of you. Both options, both rooms have two buttons. And there is a $1 million cash prize. Okay? Now, the two buttons on each side are take and split. So both of you have the same options. So here's the main rules of the game. Without talking to each other, without interacting, without knowing who the other person is on the other side, so assuming it's a random person, if both of you press split. Okay, so let's say this is person A, this is person B. If both of you press split, then you split the $1 million and each of you get 500K. You split it in half and each of you walk away with 500K. If both of you press take, then you both walk away with zero. No one gets any of the money. Now, if one of you presses take while the other person presses split, then all of the money goes to the person that pressed take. So $1 million goes to A. And then again, vice versa, $1 million will go to B. So essentially, if both of you choose to be the better person and split the money in half, then you split it. Simple. Both of you wanted to split, consensus, you both split. If both of you choose to take the money, take as in take all of it, then because of the kind of clashing, since both of you chose to take the money, no one gets the 1 million. And if one person presses take while the other person presses split, the person that chose to take gets all the money. So I'm going to give you a minute to think about it. What would you do in this scenario? Before we talk about all the possible options and how this can really go, what would you do? You don't know the person. You don't know what's on the other side. You can't interact. You can't talk. You can't decide anything. You just have to select one button. Either you press take or you press split. What would you do? Comment down below. So let's talk about this game. If you press the button take, what happens? If you press take, let's say there's a 50-50% chance that the other person is going to press take and going to press split. We don't know what they're going to pick. If they press split, you walk away with $1 million. If they press take, you walk away with zero. Right now, we're only looking at your profit. This is just what you make. They press take, you get zero. They press split, you get $1 million. Assuming you press take. Now, if you press split, they could press either. Again, 50-50 chance. If you press split and they press take, you walk away with zero. If you press split and they press split, you walk away with 500K. Pretty straightforward. Now, looking at this, it looks like pressing take is the better option, obviously, because both of these have a chance of you're going to get zero. But in the odd chance you do win, with split, you can only maximum get 500K. But with take, you can maximum get $1 million. Now, if we think purely business-minded, purely profit-based, the ideal option would be to press take, correct? It looks like you get a better profit from pressing take. Both of them 50-50 of winning, but let's say you were to win, you get a much larger amount in take. Now, here's where the game gets interesting. We're humans. We have emotions. We have all the different emotions. We have jealousy. We have competition. We are all competitive. So we don't just think rationally and in business terms like this. We have emotions. Now, here's the thing. Now, instead of just looking at how much we make, if we look at how much the opponent makes, then that changes some things. Now, let's talk about opponent. If we press split and they press split, they also get 500K. Yay. Now, if they press split, if we press split and they press take, they get $1 million. If we press take, they press split, 1 million, and they get 0. Take, they get 0 as well. So maybe you think, okay, well, I don't want them to get $1 million. Of course, some people will think like that. Some people might think, I would rather both of us get 0 than a scenario like this, where I get 0 and they get $1 million. So some people might press take out of the pure thought that I can't risk gaining nothing while the other person gains everything. So now we're incorporating the fact that the opponents might get a certain amount of money, which we're unhappy with. So now keeping this into account, what do you think you would do? Do you think this changes anything? Do you think you would still press in a fully business-based rational setting, or do you think emotions might come into play? Now let's change up the game a little. What if we now know the person here? Let's say it's a family member, a really close friend. Then what would you do? Why does that change things? Here's what I was thinking. My thought process was, let's say my sister is on the other side. I'm here, my sister is here. I'm very close with my sister, close enough that I trust her with my own money. Now here's the problem. If I press take, and in the odd chance she also presses take, we both get 0. In a business mindset, just looking at it rationally, we have established that pressing take is the better option in any case. Because pressing take would mean you get the most amount and your opponent gets the least amount, which is how we usually think in a competitive mindset. Whereas pressing split means not only do you get a less amount, but your opponent also has a significantly more chance of getting profit. So we have established that in a business mindset, you should be pressing take. Ideally, if we're just thinking about our profit and the opponent's loss. Now, if, again, your sister, your family, your friend, someone you consider yourself super close to is on the other side, if you press take, again, thinking purely business, and they also press take, no one makes anything. Now, is this something you really want if you care about the other person? If the other person is a financial partner, instead of thinking of them as competition, if the other person is someone you trust, someone you love, someone you will consider a financial contributor, is this really worth it? I was thinking that I would press split. If my sister was on the other side of the room, or my dad, or my mom, or anyone I consider really close, I would press split. Why? If I press split and they press split, we get the $1 million. As a family, the $1 million comes into my house. I get 500K, my sister gets 500K, and we both come home with a net profit of $1 million into my household. If I press split and she presses take, she gets the $1 million. I don't get anything. But since we're a team, we still come home with the $1 million profit. I add a $1 million value to my household. Even though I lost, we still come home with $1 million. Because that's how I would think. Now, again, same concept. I press take and my sister presses take. We come home with nothing. No one gets anything. Now, if she happens to press split, then yes, of course, we come home with $1 million. Everything's good. But if I press take, there's a 50% chance that we make net 0 profit. If I press split, there's a 100% chance we come home with $1 million. So now does that change something? So I just want you to think about this. Comment down below. What would you do if it was a stranger? What would you do if it was an enemy, someone you really hated? What would you do if it was someone close to you? There's so many different scenarios. And of course, as much as we like to think that, oh, everything in life is rational, I would think everything just pure profit, business-minded. As humans, emotions come into play. Now, this is, of course, a game, an analogy. In real life, in day-to-day life, in any business setting, in any corporate setting, there are some times where you have to make decisions that might benefit you and not necessarily benefit the rest of the team, the rest of the company, whether it's about finances or some other aspect. Sometimes drawing it out, seeing this flowchart, seeing this map, seeing which one truly provides the greater profit, seeing who our opponent is. Am I working with the team or am I working against the team? If the profit of the whole matters to me, which is the better option? If I want to forget my profit, if I want to make sure that they make loss, I hate them enough that I don't care what I make, I just don't want them to win. Again, human emotions. Then what option would I pick? So thinking about all of this is very important. This is a game, but in day-to-day life, we make small decisions everywhere that kind of replicate exactly what the scenario is. So again, comment down below, what would you do? What do you think about this whole setup? Do you think that there's other things that we should think about? We talked about whether the person is someone you know, someone you hate. Are there any other considerations in a game like this? Comment down below what you think. This is Whiteboard Circuit. Tried a new type of video. What would you do? If you enjoyed these types of videos, comment down below, press the subscribe button and the thumbs up button. I hope you liked listening. Bye.